Hello, everyone. Hey, welcome back. Thanks a lot. This is the episode number 16. So I only have, a little bit less than 100 to go, a little bit less than 90 to go, and see what happens. To see how many people actually respond to the videos, and so what inspired me to do these videos? Well, I have a little bit more time on my hands now that I'm not working. I'd like to see now, as we're approaching the end of COVID, of the pandemic, to see how can we get people interested in the ministry of a church plant here in Sweden. Most people don't even know why that you should have to plant a new church in Sweden, or why would someone in the States or anywhere else, like the UK or Australia or Germany or anywhere, why would they want to support the ministry that we're involved in? Because Sweden is probably not a country that a lot of people send missionaries to, in spite of the fact that it is, being one of the most secularized countries in the world, that it is a place where people actually really need to hear the gospel, and people really need to interact with Christians like in a regular place just like this. I've tried to get here where there's a lot less noise in the background. Oftentimes, there's cars driving out and people are ordering and everything like that. But I really want to try to just, do these videos to really highlight what we're doing, highlight also my experiences over the last 25 years living in Sweden, and especially in the last 14 years being ordained. So that it's been interesting. It's been very interesting, actually. Just seeing how God has moved in my life and in the life of my friends and our team, to see all the different things that have happened throughout this time period. And I'm really very thankful for this opportunity to be in Sweden. At the same time, I do realize that our community can't keep continuing with just everyone as a volunteer. So also, making these videos also gives people a chance, hopefully, to want to become a ministry partner with us. So that's why I'm making these videos. In the meantime, I wanted to try to highlight. So yesterday I talked a little bit about some of the things about being African American in Sweden, because you always stick out. There's not a lot of African Americans that are living here full time. That's just the reality. In spite of the fact that when I used to live up in the north in Sweden, so I met two other African Americans who were also married to women from Skellefteå, is a town way up north in Sweden, and we actually met and became friends in Skellefteå. Like, we didn't know each other in the States, and and you do the thing, you see hear someone speaking English, or you see someone, you're like, oh, where are you from? And someone says, oh, I'm from the States. You're like, whoa, really? Because here I think most Americans assimilate into Swedish culture. So we don't have like an American section of town, like you can go to America Town, and everything's like, there's like American shops and people are speaking English all the time. Nah, that doesn't happen. Most of us who have been here for a long time, we all learn Swedish and can speak Swedish. And there's somebody. Okay, there's somebody with their thumper. Sometimes what happens here is that young kids come here to hang out and play their music, so that you might hear a lot of music in the background, like now. All right, they usually wait until nighttime, so oh well. One of the things that I wanted to bring up, okay, one of the things I wanted to bring up is that okay, I guess they're all coming here now. So a lot of the kids are coming from the countryside, outside of the town, and they come here and they'll just hang out and just play music all night long like this, Doots, 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 doots. All right, I'm going to continue this video, but I'm going to find a better place because I think that this is a little disturbing in the back. Even the song's okay, but I think it might be harder for you to hear what I'm saying and everything. So I'll catch up with you in a couple of minutes. Find a better place. Well, I don't know if this is a better place to be than where I was. There's still traffic going by, but at least there's no music. There's an occasional rumble of the engine. Anyway, what I want to say about making these videos. So the whole point also is to engage people who are curious about our ministry and about living, as an expat, living here as an African American in Sweden. And so I was hoping and I always kept thinking that people would ask a lot of questions, and I would just keep asking questions, and that would fuel like the videos. So the videos would be more interactive. But I guess nowadays you can just Google whatever you want, and so I guess if people want to know something, I guess they'll just Google it or find out, or I guess they'll just call or ask or something like that. Um, so that's how it is sometimes. Well, there are a lot of things about living in Sweden also that there are good things, and there are things that are difficult to deal with. There's some things that I still scratch my head and don't understand. Um, I keep thinking I've been here for so long, I should be like totally fluent in Swedish, and yet and still, besides the fact that I have an American accent, it's also that I still write things wrong, or in my mind I'm thinking like, okay, but that should be right, and it's not right. It doesn't make any sense in Swedish. No one understands what I'm saying. They're like, what are you trying to say? Say it in English, or something. um, but what I found though is that that learning the language and knowing the culture and knowing things about the culture has been a help. It does help with ministry, and it does help to engage people, and it does help actually to live an authentic life, because I don't have to stress about anything. If someone needs to ask for directions or talk to me, they can choose to speak in English or Swedish. It's all up to them. And so there's like, but there are a lot of different aspects to being like a Christian. So I was a Christian in America, obviously, and grew up in a Christian family. Then I moved to Sweden, and I was a Christian in Sweden, but it was like in a different kind of way than it was back home in the States. I remember trying to find a Christian radio station, and I was like really curious, like where are the Christian radio stations? And there are none. They don't exist here. Like there's no like Christian talk radio. We don't even have AM. There's only FM here, okay? And that was like, oh, okay. Is that like progressive, like moving towards the future, or is that like backwards? I still don't know. Or I was thinking like, okay, well, I'll just go to because there was a Christian bookstore in town, and I was gonna go there, and I'm like, oh, I'll just find it. I was looking for a T-shirt with like a nice Christian slogan or something, but they didn't have those. They like. No one was wearing Christian slogans on their T-shirts, and I thought that was like really strange. And so it was really weird because you couldn't see the differences between like how the Christians were living, how the non-Christians were living. And I just thought that was like that was so different than my experiences back in America. And I had to get used to that. There's so many things like so the way I express my faith here is different than the way I would express my faith back in the States. And so that was one of the things, is that just my faith had to also change with this, not like the content. So I still believe that Jesus Christ is the second person in the Trinity. He died on the cross for our sins. He is the Son of God. He is the Messiah. He is the Messiah. I still believe in all those kind of things. So it wasn't the content that changed, but it was the context that changed, as well as the way in which I could express it. So I went to a Pentecostal church because I thought, I'm like, okay, well, it's a Pentecostal church, okay? So I'll go to the Pentecostal church because there I was expecting it to be kind of like a Pentecostal church back home. But I found that even in the Pentecostal church, a lot of people weren't saying like, amen, all right, preach that. Nah, not at all. That didn't happen. And so, I mean, there's all these just different things that I had to adjust to. And the good part about adjusting to all that, was that it really, like having to do that and do that with friends and people that you can speak with, it helped me to try to understand. So how does faith work here? What are the things that are going to be really good and going to help me in my journey with Jesus, and what things are not? So that was one of the things. But you know what? I don't think that my faith has died here. A lot of people think, oh, but you're in a secular society, you're part of a church that's super, super liberal. Well, not our community isn't, but not cross culture, but the Church of Sweden is large. It's pretty much liberal, theologically at least. But there's a lot of conservatives in there, and there's a lot of different kinds of different groups, and I mean there's all kinds of groups in the Church of Sweden. So, but yeah, and so it was a different context. It was a different thing. You know, I had to get used to. I had been going to services that were like an hour and a half long, sometimes almost 2 hours long, and all of a sudden I came here and I mean 45 minutes. You know, if it wasn't that many people at church, the service was over in 45 minutes. The average length of a sermon. So, and this goes for the Church of Sweden. That's where I work at. So when I'm working in a parish, I'm working in the Church of Sweden, or I'm working within EFS, which is a group within the Church of Sweden. So I don't work in a church environment outside of the Church of Sweden, not here at least, because that's not the doors that God has opened for me. He's opened doors in the Church of Sweden, in AFS. So anyway, but in saying that, I always say EFS. I always say AFS. Whoops, because that's what it's called in the Swedish. It's called AFS. But in what was I gonna say? I forgot my train of thought. I get easily distracted, so sorry about that. But anyway, so in just learning about those different places, about faith and those kinds of things, also challenged my faith. It challenged me to figure out, so where does my faith really lie when I don't have all these extra things that sort of boost up my faith? Where does my faith land at? And it really challenged me. Do I read the Bible because I'm supposed to read the Bible because someone says that's what a good Christian does, or do I read the Bible because I really love God's Word? Do I pray because I want to commune with God, or do I pray because that's what a good Christian is supposed to do? And so I had to figure all that stuff out, because I didn't have no one was expecting me to know more about the Bible or to grow as a Christian. Well, those kind of things didn't happen here for me like it did back home. And I'm not saying that one place is better than the other. I'm just saying it's a different context, and that different context allows you to express your faith in a different kind of way. So and that's, yeah, so that's been some of the things that have been different. But this was just a little short video about why I make the videos, and I'm hoping still that people are going to be really interactive, and I'm hoping that as people get more used to the videos and more about life in Sweden and stuff like that, that maybe something will pique someone's interest. The other thing is that for anyone who's watching these videos, to share them with your friends. If you belong to a church, share them with people in your church. Say, hey, here's a ministry in Sweden. Maybe we should do something about it. Maybe we should take this up to our mission board, to our pastor, or to whoever is in charge of missions in your church. Maybe we want to put together a team and come over to Sweden. Maybe we just want to put these people on a regular prayer list where we're just praying that God will lead and guide them. Poor souls over there in Sweden, However God is touching your heart, let him touch your heart and spread this around. I really would like a lot of people to know about what ministry is like here in Sweden, especially here in Uppsala, where I'm based at. All right, everyone. Well, I really do pray and hope that the Lord will bless you and that he'll keep you safe. I pray that God will watch over you and that you will allow him to work through you, in you, and so that your life will be a blessing to other people. I think it's really important for us believers to look for opportunities to bless, to truly be the salt and the light. It doesn't matter where you're at. You could be, anywhere. You might be in China. You might be, in Nigeria. You might be in California. You might be here in Sweden. But if you're a believer in Jesus Christ, let God use your life so that you're known for being a person who blesses other people's lives. Yeah? All right. Well, thanks a lot for watching this video. You know that you can go to www.crossculture.sc if you've been following us for a long time. If this is your first video watching, watch some of the other ones. Click on the subscribe button, the like button, push the bell, all those kind of things on the YouTube channels and everything. Drop me a line. Tell me what's going on. tell me what you want me to, more, or what you want me to put into the videos and everything. Or if you have a question about something, ask a question. It's totally okay. I try to go in and look and see where I can answer the comments that come up. And yeah, let's do this journey together and let's see where God leads us, all right? Be blessed, take care, and I will see you at the next video. Bye-bye.